Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's dive right into this because we've got a lot of ground to cover. If you're preparing for the Cambridge Additional Mathematics 0606 examination, or honestly, even related syllabuses like 0580, 4024, 4037, or 4040, you already know that the syllabus is rigorous, it's tough. But there's one specific area, topic 016, fractions with denominators 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8 only, that consistently catches even the best students completely off guard. Today, we're not just looking at formulas, we're looking at this explainer as your ultimate tactical playbook. Think of me as your football strategist, and we're about to outplay the defense. We're going to decode exactly how to outsmart the exam paper, transforming those complex, intimidating requirements into a structured, step-by-step game plan. We need to break through those question barriers. So grab your notes, get settled in, because we are about to completely decode the examiner's mindset.
Now, here's a harsh reality straight from the source. The principal examiner reports tell us a really fascinating story. You see, students aren't failing these questions because they lack basic mathematical knowledge. They're not missing points because they don't know what a fraction is. They're missing out because they lack an execution strategy. When you see denominators restricted strictly to 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8, Cambridge is setting up a highly specific conceptual arena. They are testing your discipline, your method, and your ability to navigate their strict tactical rules. You already have the knowledge, right? Now we're going to give you the insider strategy so you don't drop those easy marks on game day.
That brings us to a massive question. Why do so many capable students freeze up or make critical errors when asked to evaluate evidence and draw conclusions in these specific fraction problems? Well, often it's because the human brain panics when it encounters strict constraints. We see those specific denominators and we just freeze. I see two types of students all the time. First, you have students like Alex. Alex overloads their answers with raw mathematical facts but provides absolutely no analysis. Then you have students like Sam. Sam rushes the play, completely misses the command word requirements, and drops the ball. Both jump straight to the final answer instead of building a solid tactical bridge of evidence. But what if there was a repeatable, systematic process to build that bridge every single time? Well, that is exactly what we are going to explore today.
To solve this, here is our playbook for today. We'll unpack the fraction challenge, look at the core academic principles, and then reveal the tactical methodology. After that, we'll dive into evaluating evidence, look at top examiner warnings, and finally, lock in the method mark strategy.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the fraction challenge.
Let's define exactly what we are dealing with on the pitch here. When the syllabus restricts denominators to 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8, it is creating a highly controlled environment. The theoretical architecture here rests on a conceptual framework drawing heavily on systematic analysis and evidence-based reasoning. Examiners are testing your ability to establish precise causal relationships. In other words, they want to see if you can play exactly by their incredibly strict rules without missing a single beat. There are absolutely no rogue denominators allowed here. The crucial point is that this topic is essentially a test of your logical discipline. Can you hold the formation under pressure? Before we continue, subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at @acetheexams_IGCS to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now. Moving right along to Section 2, Core Academic Principles. Before we can execute our tactics, we need to understand the academic benchmarks required by Cambridge. What are the examiners actually grading you on? Well, this chart brilliantly illustrates the real challenge of the exam. Look at the cognitive domains targeted here. Only 33% of the assessment objectives are based on raw knowledge and understanding. Think back to Alex, the student we mentioned earlier. Alex memorizes the textbook and thinks they're ready for the exam, but raw facts are only 33% of the game. You're barely getting a third of the way there. Another 33% requires application, actually putting that knowledge into practice on the field. But the largest slice, an absolutely crucial 34%, demands analysis. This proves that raw knowledge alone is literally not enough to secure top marks. You have to analyze the play, break down the data, and manipulate it to fit Cambridge's constraints.
Now that we know what they want, let's look at exactly how we deliver it. Section 3, the tactical methodology.
This is the exact systematic processing sequence used by top-scoring candidates to capture those tricky application and analysis marks. Think of this as your absolute success blueprint for the exam room. Here as your standardized procedural framework. Memorize this sequence. Step 1, deconstruct the question. Decode those command words immediately. Step 2, extract relevant data. Get in, get what you need, and move on.
Step 3. Select your analytical framework. This is where you identify the key mathematical principles applying to our specifically restricted denominators of 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. Now slow down here. Step 4. Execute the analysis using crystal clear mathematical notation. This is where precision really matters. You can even overlay the Peel framework here, point, evidence, explanation, link, to make sure every analytical step is justified. And finally, Step 5. Present the information following strict conventions with proper headings and completely correct terminology. When you follow this exact sequence, you completely eliminate panic and replace it with pure precision. Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2 to 3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to @acetheexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions.
Let's shift gears and move to Section 4, Evaluating the Evidence. This is where we shift our focus to those higher-order assessment objectives we saw earlier in the chart. This is the section that completely differentiates the average students from the elite ones. The assessment framework heavily prioritizes analytical depth over superficial breadth. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, superficial breadth is exactly what our student Alex does. It's when a student panics and throws every single math fact they know onto the page, hoping something, anything sticks. Let me tell you, examiners hate this. Analytical depth, on the other hand, is laser-focused. It's about drawing those clever cross-topic connections and thoroughly interpreting the relationships within the data. Principal examiner reports highlight time and time again that candidates who reference cross-topic connections and dive deep into the specific constraints of the problem achieve significantly higher marks. It's about quality, not just volume.
To achieve that elite depth, top-tier students demonstrate evaluative thinking. You need to question assumptions and identify limitations within the given data. Ask yourself, are there alternative interpretations to the results you just calculated? Most importantly, you absolutely must justify your decisions with evidence. Remember the Peel framework we mentioned? Point, evidence, explanation, link. Use it to justify your steps. The Cambridge grading framework operates on descriptive, analytical, and evaluative levels. To reach that top evaluative level, you cannot just present a number on the page. You have to prove to the examiner exactly why that number is the only logical conclusion based on the specific 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8 fractions provided. You're building a case, step by logical step.
Now, we need to have a very serious conversation. Section 5, Top Examination Warnings.
We spent a lot of time talking about what to do, but it's equally important to know exactly what bad habits will instantly sink your score. These insights are pulled directly from the Cambridge Principal Examiner reports. Here are the top 3 traps you absolutely must avoid. First, confusing cause and effect. In complex fraction problems, students often mix up the independent and dependent variables, which means their entire logical chain just completely falls apart. Second, forgetting to check format and presentation conventions. This is the classic Sam mistake. Sam rushes, misses the command word requirements, and gets sloppy. If your notation is messy or lacks clear annotation, the examiner literally cannot follow your logic and you lose the points. Third, and perhaps most importantly, providing answers that are not specific to the context given. Generic, cookie-cutter answers receive 0 marks. Your conclusion must be explicitly tied to the exact scenario and the exact data provided in the question.
Finally, we reach Section 6, the method mark strategy. If you remember only one single thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. This is the ultimate safety net for Cambridge math students. Listen closely to this examiner alert. Students needlessly lose marks simply by not showing they're working out. In the 0606 syllabus, marks are consistently awarded for the process itself. Systematic processing requires you to execute your analysis with clear, undeniable working. Why? Because even if you make a tiny arithmetic error in the final calculation and your end answer is completely wrong, a clear step-by-step methodology proves to the examiner that you understood the analytical framework. Process equals points. Let your written steps be your insurance policy on exam day. Don't let those easy points slip away because you were too rushed to write down your thought process. Students who implement these mathematics strategies see an average improvement of 2 grade boundaries, but only if they practice consistently with our weekly videos. Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to @acetheexams_IGCS and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by. Drop a comment below with your target grade for mathematics and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the Exams. Your Cambridge success starts here.
So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. When you sit down in that exam hall, the clock starts ticking, and you turn the page to a problem featuring fractions with denominators 2, 3,
4, 6, or 8, what exactly will you do? Will you panic like Alex, rush to a final answer like Sam, and leave your method marks totally blank? Or will you pause, rely on your structured reasoning, and execute the tactician's playbook step by step? The strategy is now completely in your hands. Use it, practice it, and you'll transform the way you approach these exams. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.